Many of the individuals in this classroom probably have a diet that consists of a majority of meat and less of the plant-based foods. So when a crazy 17-year-old who has no degree in the health field or is not a doctor starts talking about food, you guys are bound to tune out for whatever comes next, which is completely understandable. But what if that same crazy 17-year-old explains tons of information that says different? See, in many religions or even in some cultures, it is known as a sin to eat a specific type of meat. Which brings us to what we'll be talking about today, which is alkaline food is the best option for human beings. In fact, it plays an important part in our hydration and the benefits that we will be talking about and the diseases that we might face. How many might think that water is what hydrates our body the most? But this is false. In fact, according to Birdie.com, when you drink too much water, it promotes water intoxication. And no, not the alcohol intoxication. This intoxication comes from the overflow of water that dilutes our blood, which causes important electrolytes like sodium, magnesium, and calcium to be inefficient in our body. This can also cause major issues in our body, like muscle cramping, brain swelling, and heart arrhythmias. So you probably wonder, if water isn't the best thing that hydrates our body, then what is? Well, I got the answer. It is H3O2. It is also known as structured water. H3O2 is a future water that is alkaline based, and it is 10% denser than H2O. It promotes intracellular hydration rather than extracellular hydration. Now, if you're like me and you don't know what that means, intracellular hydration is the water that is found inside of our intestines, which is transferred directly through our intestinal lining, and that lining is transferred the water directly into our cells. Easier way to say that would, it allows direct oxygen to your cells. In total, it gives your body more hydration. Oxygen, I mean. Now, extracellular hydration is the water that's found outside of your cells, and it makes about 1/3 of the water that's found in your body. And intracellular makes around the other 2/3. And this is important because as humans, we age, and our ability to transfer that body deteriorates. So this leads us to the accumulation of oxidation that damages our health and speeds up the aging process, which makes scientists believe that more intracellular water we have, it can actually slow down the aging or even reverse it in some cases. Also, with the building of oxidation, causes inflammation in the body, which is not good for our cells or really any other organ in our body. Okay, let's take a pause for the hydration part and dive straight into the food aspect. See, many of us might think this is too hard of a task or if it's time consuming and that it's not tasty sometimes. Well, this is because we're accustomed to eating this bad food. And scientists states in One Medical that our taste buds can actually change or reverse by changing those foods that you're accustomed to eating all the time. It shows us that it is possible to change the foods that you like to eat. And just by simply not eating them and replacing them with better foods, like alkaline foods, like fruits and veggies. So it might not be as hard as we imagine. So, well, also the gym rats might be stuck on the protein aspect. Well, fruits don't give you as much protein as a fat, juicy steak would, but it does carry protein. There are actually many alkaline foods that if you eat enough of, they can give you that same intake of a fat, juicy steak. Some of these will include avocados, banana, apricot, raisins, raspberries, and kiwi. The interesting thing about kiwi is the skin has no taste. It is actually a placebo effect that affects our brain. We make the assumption that it looks like hair, and with that assumption, we make it seem like it's nasty, when it really doesn't taste like anything. If you're known to eat less fatty foods and replace them with fruit, it is known to boost your testosterone. In fact, in a study shown that men who did this fast type of fasting had their testosterone boosted by 180%. And if you don't know what testosterone does for you, it stimulates protein synthesis, which is your body's natural protein. So for the dudes or dudettes, you do have an actual option. And this is not the only thing that benefits the human body. In fact, the list goes on. See, fruits have high fiber, so it has the ability to boost your gut health. And in fact, it stopped over 26,000 bowel cancers by simply eating 2 servings of fruit and five servings of vegetables. So the question is, why do people not eat more of these things? And the Orlando Health says people don't have people are too stressed to eat good foods, but the intake of fruit lowers that stress output. And another example would be, people say that fruit is too expensive, but the same bag of apples is equals to the same amount of a Big Mac from McDonald's. And God, many fruits. Oh, many fruits with the color orange have the ability to heighten your visibility because they host this beta carotene, which boosts the vision. Now it also helps diabetes. Since fruits have a low glycemic intake, it can shorten the amount of sugar that you eat. Now, as I close this presentation, I hope you understand the major benefits. First one being hydration. The second being the food benefits that it might hold. The other being how fruit can help the diseases that we might face on a daily basis. So now when you go to the grocery store next time, hopefully you think about those key factors. Now, thank you guys for coming out, and have an amazing day.